Good evening, everyone. The Funny River wildfire south of Soldotna continues to burn and grow tonight. That fire is now estimated at more than 78,000 acres. Lacie Groswald is in the subdivision tonight where residents are preparing. Lacie?
Mike, after the fire advisory was issued, more firefighters came to the subdivision to help residents out. A spokesperson for the firefighters says that since this afternoon, the fire has laid down significantly. And in the time since then, currently the fire is a little more than a mile away from the edge of the subdivision. Residents work to protect their property in case something changes. We talked to Lawrence Meyer, who has owned this property for more than 50 years. He's collected historic buildings and classic cars. Today, he worked to move off the property. He says he's doing what he can in case the fire crosses the marshy area to his home.
I don't know. I don't have any insurance, so that ain't too clever, but that's the case. And then, it takes 20 years or so for the things to grow back up again. And I'm, I'm 76, so who knows?
Currently, temperatures are dropping. That's good news for firefighters. There are about 400 people working on this fire right now.
All right, Lacie Groswald in Casilo, thanks for the update.
Good evening. Earlier today, residents in the Casilo-Soldotna area were put on an evacuation advisory as the Funny River fire continues to burn on the Kenai Peninsula. The area is on the fire side of the Sterling Highway from Californsky Road to mile 109.5 and along Funny River Road from the airport to the end of the road. Fire officials say that more than 1,000 households were warned to be ready in case the fire situation escalates. Channel 2's Lacie Groswald just got out of a press briefing. Lacie, what's the latest on the fire?
Well, we have the latest estimates on the fire, and that's at 106,000 acres right now. And that's about 10,000 acres up from the estimate we got earlier today. You can see behind me there's a lot of aircraft activity going on right now. About every 8 minutes they have aircraft circling all over. The site you're seeing now is a lot different from what we saw this morning when Soldotna was blanketed in a cover of smoke. And there was even some ash falling from the sky. After today's announcement of an evacuation advisory, people have been busy trying to set up ways to protect their homes. This fire is particularly challenging because firefighters work 3 flanks that could spread to homes. A spokesperson says recently firefighters have seen a pattern with the Funny River fire.
The last 3 or 4 days that we've been here, we've noticed that there's really a nighttime flare-up that happens right around 11:30 to midnight, around 1 o'clock. Right in that period where it'll flare up, you'll see very erratic, intense fire behavior.
And Weston says that the fires usually die down a little bit after dark, after that initial flare-up. Tonight, there isn't expected to be a big flare-up or a lot of activity. Earlier today, we talked to one resident who has been preparing in case he has to evacuate. He told us that he's getting his collectible cars together and just standing by to see what happens. Not far from Larry Meyer's front door.
Well, where the hell is, how come I don't understand.
A view of what he hopes doesn't get too close. He watched the Funny River fire crest the ridge last night. Friends and neighbors like Buck Carroll have been streaming in to see what's happening with the fire.
So yeah, it has gotten quite a bit closer even since I've been here this morning, and a lot closer since last night.
They also do what they can to help.
At least it'll stop the hot embers from starting anything.
Larry and the others cleared trees when the fire started getting big.
But I keep stalling around. I was told 4 years ago about that roof and those trees. And did I do anything? No.
On this lot, this former fisherman collects wooden fishing boats and Swedish-style log cabins.
But this ain't looking good.
Larry doesn't have insurance. Before, he worried packing up his teak furniture from Thailand would damage it.
And now, so I don't want to damage it, so it'll probably burn up in the house.
It's funny what you think of that you start worrying about when there's a fire.
This property holds mementos of an adventurous life.
He uses money and he travels to strange places. You go out in the woods of Cambodia to see the temples and, the back country.
This adventure is one that Larry hopes he can soon put behind him.
Larry, you're going to be all right. Well, maybe. No, I think you are. Come look at where the flames are now.
So tomorrow, Governor Sean Parnell is planning on coming to the area to talk to people that are affected. The Alaska Air National Guard is also going to be using some Black Hawk helicopters to help out people in need. Reporting live from Casilo, I'm Lacie Groswald.
Good evening. The Funny River fire on the Kenai Peninsula picked up this afternoon. People off Funny River Road were under an evacuation order from mile 7 to all the way to the end of the road. Here is a map that indicates the growth of the fire since it started last Monday. As you can see, the lighter parts of the map are where the fire started, and the darker areas indicate how far it has spread since then. Channel 2's Lacie Grosvold is at the airport, which is located on Funny River Road, just a few miles from where people are leaving their homes. Lacie, what's the latest?
Kathleen, we're at the heli base right now where helicopters are loading up and getting ready to fight this fire. All we know now is conditions are changing really quickly. Our live truck was actually set up in an area that was evacuated just about an hour and a half ago. So people are just told to be prepared. They're being evacuated all along Funny River Road. And yesterday, according to estimates, that road has about 1,000 houses on it. Now, right now, helicopters are flying out with fire retardant to try to get those fires put out. They're also working with water tankers to drop water. Conditions are changing very quickly. As I said, this morning the feeling was more positive about the situation, but with the changing wind, some residents that thought they were free to stay have had to evacuate all of a sudden.
It was emotional. It was really hard because you kind of have to weigh up everything that you have here, but then, you know, that's not the important thing. As long as we get out and our pets get out, that was the important thing.
Governor Sean Parnell visited the area and flew over the fire. He says the fire is in good hands.
Both of Alaska residents as well as of firefighters and the teams, as well as protecting property. A lot of strategic thought has gone into how to attack the fire.
Okay, and so fire officials are asking that people stay out of the area that's been evacuated. There's been some problems with onlookers wanting to go in to get a closer look at the fire and actually blocking people who live there from getting out. So they're just asking everyone to stand by.
Lacie Grosvold is live at the airport. Lacie, what's the latest?
Kathleen, there's a new estimate on the number of acres. It's 156,000 acres. That's 243 square miles. That's bigger than the city of San Francisco. And this is about the time of night over the past few days that we've seen the fire really grow. So firefighters are standing by. They have a lot of crews in the area. And just an example to show you how fast things change. The governor was in town earlier today and he flew over the fire, and it looked like there was a lot of progress being made and it seemed to slow down. But just in a few hours, everything changed and there were over 1,000 families that were evacuated. To say the least, over the past few days, it's been really tense for the people who live here, and it continues to be that way. For days, people living on Funny River Road near Soldotna have been considering leaving their homes. Today, the order to evacuate became mandatory. Officials say it's for the residents' safety.
Nobody's allowed past mile 7 right now.
All right, well, let's get this show on the road, I guess.
Emmanuel Middleton and 12 family members live off Funny River Road.
We're just kind of getting the whole family here. That way we know everybody's safe and trying to get them all in one area and then move to the sports center and make sure that they know we're all out of the danger zone.
They've been getting ready, hoping this time wouldn't come. Now they're faced with losing everything they don't bring with them.
All of our vehicles, that way we can at least, you know, be mobile. Some stuff that we can sell if we have to start over.
Lydia Craycraft had hoped to stay the night in her own home. She's focused on what matters.
You kind of have to weigh up everything that you have here, but then, you know, that's not the important thing. As long as we get out and our pets get out.
Well, we all gotta head over to... While families gather at the muster point in Soldotna, firefighters will work through the night. More than 400 people working in the air and on the ground to eventually get these families back in their homes safely. And families who evacuated, they mustered at the Soldotna Recreation and Sports Center to get the names down, to understand who was there. And anyone that needed shelter, the Red Cross was sheltering them at a local elementary school, the Redoubt Elementary School. Live from the Soldotna Airport, I'm Lacie Grosvold, Channel 2 News.
All right, thanks, Lacie.
You can now return to your homes on Funny River Road. Those are now, the ban has been lifted.
Evacuation orders lifted, easing some of the tension down on the Kenai as homeowners pushed away by the Funny River fire learned today they can finally go home.